Hey, how you going, random stranger? Today we're listening to a track that has popped up in the comment section of a lot of my Hololive videos forever now, and it's Marine's Unison. So here we go. It just keeps jumping to that vibe. Oh. What? Whoa, that chopped up phrase is so weird. This is such a quirky little melody. Also that, I don't know what that sound is, but the one going like the rapid pitched pipe. Oh, I got tingles. Oh, well, that doesn't happen a lot. I love when the harmony just came in together like that. It was crisp. Also, there's like different Marine singing together. Like, it's all Marine, but it's all different timbres. And now we have ASMR. Cool. Her voice is like right there in your ear. What is that? I love how they've played with the rhythms in this one. It's all 4/4 time. It's not really polymeter. But damn, are they using some really irregular rhythms. Now we're like drowning? Yep. Wow, their build-up is so good. Just by using the thickness of the rhythms. I love that part. That bass line is doing a version of like a choose me bit. That's really cool. Such weird sounds, but they're perfect. Yo, that was like 4 minutes of pure experience. You don't need me to tell you that this song mishmashes together just one, super irregular rhythms over a common 4/4 time. Two, just the experimental use of different sounds. I feel like this song is like a form of ASMR. You know, the weird ASMR that does stuff really close to the mic and you can't explain why, but it just sends tingles and shivers all down your spine in the best possible way. I was trying to figure out where the instability comes from. You know, where is this weird off kilter, unbalanced feeling has come from, because I suspected it was only from that one part. What I called like the pitched pipes, but I've no idea what the sound is. Some mad lad has gone ahead and like transcribed Unison into actual sheet music, for which I'm forever grateful. So they've done that weird part as a piano part here. And I think just looking at the sheet music, it's very clear that that is the culprit. If you just isolated the percussion parts, of course, you can hear that the bass drum is pounding very regularly on every beat of the 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The hi-hats as well, you know, they're very frantic, but they're also mostly on regular 8th or 16th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if we add in the hand claps, so it is slightly syncopated because of that last half of an 8th note right at the end there. But every single time it comes in, again, regularly on the 3rd beat. So it's actually on the beat, as is every other percussive part. So really what makes Unison so ear-tingly because of its rhythmic irregularity, and how that irregularity interacts with all of the other parts is this part. It's so weird and jilted. This is 1 and is on a rest. 2 and is another rest. 3, there's a note there. And again is on a rest. And then there's a weird like 16th note there that's just off the main like pulse. 4 and then every rest interval changes from bar to bar. So it's just really hard to catch. And I would hate to play this live. Like imagine if you chucked a pebble down the side of a very steep hill or a cliff, and you're just watching it roll down, kind of jumping up randomly and then keeping on rolling down. That's what that part feels like to me. And I loved it because I think having that one ingredient that was weaving in and out of all the other parts and playing havoc with the rhythms, that was just the right amount of irregularity to make the song really quirky and very strong in terms of, whoa, making your brain go, whoa, what's happening? This is like actually really interesting. It's a lesson in how you don't need 4 or 5 different parts doing weird, crazy things to make for a very, experiential auditory experience. Because that would just be overkill. I just use the word minimalistic to describe the song. And it is in the sense that it has a relative absence of bass and sort of mid-range instruments. But at the same time, it's packed with different rhythms and instruments and really quirky sound effects. I don't know how they manage that. Like they managed to make it sound so full while also at the same time sounding minimalistic. Like how did they do that? I thought they used dynamic contrast so well to build up the intensity and the complexity at just the right moment in order to make the payoff moment, i.e. the moment that Marine comes in the chorus and sings "Choose Me," to feel more impactful by comparison. So this is like the build up just before the chorus. So Marine's already smoothing out the melody here. And then the hand claps get more and more intense. And then there's just so much space when Marine comes in with the "Choose Me." That weird part that we're focusing on, it's actually much more regular here in the chorus, even though it is still quite rapid. The way that they pulled back on both the intensity of the sound just as they enter the chorus and also the rhythmic irregularity gave her voice room to breathe and to command attention. Let's just listen to that again. Hand claps going crazy. So when all that pent up energy suddenly shifted to support the sustained vocal line, it created this very satisfying sort of moment that made the choose me moment feel a lot more intimate. I love that this composition showed real understanding of how like rhythm and texture work together to serve like the emotional arc of a song. It's not about just making a song sound complex and very busy. It's about using that complexity to make those relatively simpler moments or the more intimate moments hit that much harder. There's something really meaningful, I think, about having her sing Onegai Choose Me with multiple layers of her voice, each with its own distinct timbre and character. The fact that this is the first moment where everything feels more stable allowed the different vocal layers to actually blend together beautifully. It's literally the title of the song expressed musically, Unison. Having different versions of herself harmonized together also felt like she was expressing just different sides of herself, that are all equally valid and important parts of who she is. I know with Marine, and even as someone who barely watches her, the lewd version of Marine gets a lot of eyeballs, but there are so many more aspects to Marine that make her the success that she is. Fans of Marine can probably tell me all of like the different aspects of the versions of Marine that there are, but just purely from a musical expression level, that definitely felt like a deliberate artistic choice. Making the chorus the focal point of everything, where everything converges, is really smart. It's where the rhythmic irregularity settles into something a bit more grounded and steady. The quirkiness is still there, but it's sort of woven more into patterns that are more anchored. And of course, the actual choose me vocal line is very elongated and sustained. This is also where the melody finds its footing. So the verse was a lot more about these really abrupt, jagged, perfect fifths and perfect fourth jumps, whereas the choose me section, it flows with smoother steps and thirds that create a sense of, again, more melodic stability. So if I were to guess what that means, I think the instability in the verse and the pre-chorus mirrors kind of almost like this uncertainty of searching. You have these very choppy rhythms, very angular melodic jumps, and it just feels like someone trying to figure things out or presenting different fragmented versions of themselves. But then when the choose me of the chorus actually arrives with a more smoother, more grounded musical foundation, it was like she's saying, like, this is me, assembling all the different parts of herself into one unified, coherent self and saying, this is me, and this is when everything really comes together, and all of these parts of me are still me. Some parts are just so unstable, man. Like, especially this bit. That weird part is doing a very swung rhythm, and everything's really not gelling well together. And we're drowning here, I'm pretty sure. It's like we're drowning in the fragmentation of our soul or something. I don't know. If there was ever like a point in this song where I was like, man, that is some serious identity crisis, this would be it. But then it picks up again. So again, whenever we head towards more rhythmic and melodic stability, that's where we know sort of this is going to a better place. One of more identity certainty, if that makes any sense. Musically, stability often equals resolution and kind of coming to a truth. So when a song finally settles into something that feels more solid and more centered, it typically marks an emotional climax of some kind or a moment of clarity. So having the music stabilize when she was asking to be chosen, I guess, by her fans, I don't know, suggests that it's kind of like a plea to take her as she is. Not as just fragmented pieces of her that you may see every now and then if you don't really pay attention to who she actually is as an artist, but to take her as all of these different elements working together as one complete person. Either that, or you could just be like, this is a freaking awesome song, and like it's so magnificently cool and wicked and weird that this is definitely one of the gems in the Hololive repertoire that I've come across, and it was a joy to listen to.